Welcome to Inside a Trader's Mind. I am your host, Kyle Daugherty, the traveling trader. I'm here again today with my co-host, Sammy Tovar.
Right on. Cheers.
All right. Today, we're going to talk about, I know I say everything's important all the time, like probably every single episode, but this is super important. Rituals. And we're not talking about the sacrificial kind, okay? We're talking about rituals to get ready to trade, to get your mindset straight, and to get ready to go for the day. Like, what do you do? What do we do? Like, how do we, like, there's so many, like, I can give like, I'm going to give examples of mine, but I feel like if you want to be successful in this business, you need some type of ritual or routine.
Totally. 100%. This is the intangible stuff, right? Mm-hmm. This is that stuff that makes you great. Okay. You can go from good to great by the way you treat yourself, basically, right? This is stuff that doesn't cost money, right? This is
exactly
to live good and impact what you're doing with trading. And I always talk about the stressors of trading. Okay. And what I mean by stressors is that you are triggering your nervous system, right? You're triggering adrenaline, you're triggering cortisol, you're triggering these stress hormones, and you're triggering all of these mental like reflexes constantly as you trade, as you make money, right? Because we just talked a little episode ago about money, but that's so important. Now, if you're constantly pinned out and all adrenalized, you're going to have a breakdown sooner or later. You just can't live like that. If you trade, like many episodes ago, we talked about how many hours a week do you spend? Like probably spend like 15 hours a week analyzing, maybe 5 hours a week trading. That's right. 20-hour work week. That's not bad, right?
That's not bad at all.
Right. So you talk about rituals, like my thing with rituals is this. Rituals become habits and habits become standards. Okay. Standards in your belief system are integrated, right?
Yes. And those are the most important. Like once you have standards, that's when it's truly ingrained in your psyche and your mindset, and everything that you do will always reflect that after that.
And if your standards aren't built to a high level of building wealth, trading, high accuracy and consistency and doing the things that create that has to be the standard becomes the minimum level of acceptance at that point. And the goal is to kind of always up your standards game, right? You've seen some of the guys, we have members in here that like with working out and stuff. I mean, we got like bodybuilder, like
that's right. We do in the group. Yeah, we got actually he was on DeMarc Davis. He was on a guest on one of our episodes. Yeah,
and that's rituals, and that's habits, and it's a standard for DeMarc that he doesn't. It's that this is the minimum level of acceptance is to have that body. You know what I mean?
Exactly. I like to have I like to do a few things every single morning before I even trade. Like, so, I mean, I know we talk about mindset a lot. And so mindset is 80% of this game, you know, if you have a weak one, you're going to fail. Yeah. So to use those, so what I do in the mornings, and I'll just kind of like give a quick overview of what I do. So I like to work out. I like to eat healthy, and I like to say some affirmations. So this is a money game. All right. Yeah. It's a big money game. All right. So my affirmations, and I'm sure everyone is listening has probably heard these before, but I like to say in the mirror to myself, I'm a money magnet, and then money flows freely to me. Every morning, I'll say that 3 or 4 times to myself. And and then it just kind of gets me ready to like go to like put me in the mindset of trading.
I have an affirmations for every day of the week. I actually have.
Oh, I love that, man.
Yeah, 7 days. I have them. I read them every morning about trading, right? And it's kind of almost like a theme, right? And like my Monday theme is different than my Tuesday theme, right? My Monday theme for trading, I might need a little bit of kick in the ass after having a fun weekend or whatever. So it might be like, I think and I act today. I take massive action to, improve my life or whatever the question is, and then, I'm kind of jumping in a little bit too. Like, so I have a gratitude journal, right? I journal like every day. I journal like 5 things I'm grateful for. And it's like scientifically proven,
Mm-hmm.
you pretty much, it's going to be hard to have a shitty day if you start off being grateful. You know what I mean?
I absolutely actually can't agree with you more because so the second I wake up, I don't even move anymore. I open my eyes, I don't check my phone. For the first 5 minutes of the day, I think about all the stuff that I'm grateful for.
Yeah.
And that's how I like to try to set the tone
Yeah.
because, I mean, when you go into trading and if you're in a calm and a good mood, you're gonna be able to see all the things on your data points, your checklist
Yeah.
with a clear head. If you
Clear.
wake up, you look at your phone, everything's like going off and you're overwhelmed, that's how you're gonna approach the day. It
Yeah.
doesn't matter whether you're trading or not, that's how you're gonna approach the day, like
Totally.
chaotically.
Right. And like you talked about, like, exercise and diet, and like
Mm-hmm,
they're so important. Like, and I'm not a dietitian or like a physical fitness guru or nothing,
mm-hmm,
but like I know I've taken like 50 pounds, 60 pounds off in like 4, 5, 6 months. And like, one of my rituals or one of my standards is I have a food journal. I got to write down my workouts, how much I burn, what I
yeah,
eat, what goes in, man. I like have to stare at that thing, and I'm accountable, like, to me, when I have to write that down every day.
exactly, man, yeah.
You can see, oh, we had pizza the other night. Holy crap, that's an extra 1,000 calories of cheese and bread, right?
Yeah, right.
Yeah, you get a balance. Everything needs to be balanced. I'm not gonna,
it's it's absolutely true. I mean, it really, when you look at it, what you're doing is you're just compiling data. You're compiling
right.
your data on yourself and where you can make improvements. And that's pretty much what we're doing here in Forex too. We're
When
compiling our data.
let me ask you this, because you're the traveling trader. When you
Yeah.
travel, how does that
Mm,
impact your
good question.
rituals and your routine?
So very minimally, because
Okay.
so what I do is I actually plan and I prepare for it. So I know if I'm going to like a resort in Mexico or something like that, and I'm gonna be drinking, I'm gonna by the pool. So I am gonna work out probably once or twice a day, no matter how I feel.
Right.
Because I noticed like once I sweat everything out and I continue to eat healthy. I mean, yes, like I do track like when I drink a little bit more, but that means like the following week, I go dry or like I take a break for a while and I go like regulate everything back to what I was doing.
Right.
But I still always work out. I still always try to eat as healthy as I can, no matter what's on the resort. But I still follow my other routines, like what
Yeah.
I'm grateful for. I still plan on working. I stay sober until I'm done, like stuff like that when I'm like
Yeah.
traveling and having fun. But
Yeah. Like in
working
all my
out.
tools, I put all my tools, my food journal, my gratitude journal,
Mhm.
my affirmation, they can just go right in my backpack next to my laptop,
Yeah, exactly. Like all the important stuff that you're going to need for work, because forex isn't just learning to trade. It isn't just the mechanics behind it. It isn't just the mindset behind the charts and how they move. It's
Right.
the other things like having your ritual and routine to make your beliefs or those
Right.
those habits standards in your life.
Absolutely. I also, because I coach, and you coach just wide variety of different types of people that
Mhm.
have different lifestyles, different obligations, family, maybe jobs, things like that. It's really critical to not pile tons of shit on your dispatch, like if
Mhm.
you're trying to get used to it, right? There's 2 ways to do something, right? Massive imperfect action. Like if you have time and you have money on your side, you can take massive imperfect action because you
Right.
have some resources,
Yeah, you
right?
can just go and put
Right.
everything on and do it as you
But
can. Yeah.
if your money's tight and you have a job and your time is tight, we got those 4 resources. You have people, your family maybe demands this attention or whatever. You have still to live that life that's built, and maybe just do small shifts for the butterfly effect or the snowball effect, right?
Exactly.
Maybe
You
it's
just yeah, start
15
small. Start
minutes,
the
right?
small tweaks in the day.
Right.
I like to after I'm done trading with the day or I'm done doing everything, I actually like to meditate.
Yeah.
But
Perfect.
it's like 15 minutes. It's
Right.
I'm not doing it for like 6 hours like monks or anything like that. Like just quick meditation and then it
Yeah.
just recenters me and for the next day and to go again. I mean, that's something anyone can start with. I
Right.
know, like, yeah,
People are shocked when they just make a 15 to 20-minute adjustment.
right.
And it's also scientifically proven that once you start accomplishing something, right? And I
Mhm.
was like, you always, there's guys all over YouTube that, like this old retired Marine guy,
Yeah,
his,
make your
his
bed the
ritual,
second you get out of it.
make his
Yeah,
bed, right? Well, because he's got one thing he's accomplished. He's kicked ass at making that bed.
yeah.
And then everything's a snowball effect for him after that.
Hmm.
Those things actually psychologically, the way we're wired, that success principle,
Hmm.
like by making small adjustments. Now, if he woke up and he's like, oh my God, I have 100 things to do, he's going to just struggle throughout the day. And as he gets done with like the fifth thing, probably be at lunchtime fried and frustrated that he's not going to get the next 95 things done.
Absolutely, man.
And like,
Absolutely.
it's all balancing, right? We balance our risk and our patience with trading. You
Hmm.
have to balance that risk for yourself, even. And like, let's say this: if you had 20 minutes a day dedicated to mastering and learning how to trade, yeah, that's 2 hours a week, that's 8 hours a month, like you're gonna rapidly build. And then as you see and you shift your confirmation bias in your head, you're
Hmm.
gonna want more because now you're hooking in, right? And you start climbing and it's bigger and better and it builds. But if you
Absolutely.
just try to, I'm gonna take 4 hours a day for the next like 2 weeks and master this, you might struggle. So know that there are different approaches and don't beat yourself up if you have a full dispatch in life, right?
Yeah, right. Like I mean, that's what, like, trading can take a lot. Like, sometimes the hours are crazy depending on where you're located. And if you have the family and you have a life outside of trading,
Yeah,
adding that in is super stressful if you try to just do everything all at once.
right.
Just make small gradual changes, like
Totally.
just small shifts in your life, and
Yep.
eventually it will snowball. You're right.
It will totally. I like for me that like I always bounce back and forth, like with
Mhm.
like Forex Lightning and doing things that I want to get done. I do the massive, action
Yeah,
plan.
yeah.
Like nothing interferes with my, I mean, journal takes like 3 minutes a day. And gratitude takes like 5 minutes. I might have 15 minutes into my rituals that keep my mindset sharp
Hmm.
and everything positive and flowing. I work out 2.5 hours a day, but my lifestyle demands that I do that to keep everything balanced. A
Absolutely,
bottle of
man.
champagne, I better hit that, calorie burn, right?
Right. I hear you, man.
But
Absolutely.
yeah, it I guess for me, like what I impart on everybody is pick something and stick to it. It doesn't have to be this grandiose thing. If you want it to be grandiose, power to you. Just make sure that you're ready. If you fail at it, what went wrong? Was it time? Was it people? Was it the know-how? But like I said, these things that we're talking about, they don't cost any money. It's just reprioritizing or reallocating some of your resources.
Exactly. And even this stuff, even if you don't trade every day or you just don't trade at all, this stuff will actually help change other aspects of your life. If you start incorporating these small changes, these small routines into it,
Man,
you'll
well said.
you'll make, yeah, you will make massive changes in just a few short months, just by changing what you do 15 or 20 minutes a day, like, to
It's
start out.
it's
Isn't that
so
wild?
exciting. It
It
is,
is.
man. It's really exciting. I geek out on the mindset stuff and this ritual stuff. Like I did 30-day challenges and all sorts of weird stuff. I have
Mhm.
coaches, really good coaches, that still give me these types of exercises to do. And I share them with you guys too. And it's just like, man, this shit is it like it'll fix what's wrong, like a lot of times. So
Absolutely. Do you ever see, like, when you were growing up or something like that, did you hear about, do you ever hear somebody say, um, rich people, like, what they know, do they know something we don't? Like, what do they do that
yeah,
makes them successful like that? And what we're talking about right now is what they do.
they
Like,
do.
we're 100%. They do affirmations, they journal, they work out, they eat healthy, and they have like a ritual that becomes their beliefs and that becomes their standards
Yeah.
for their life.
And once they achieve some
Mhm.
wealth,
Mhm.
that's a new standard, right? The bar is now set
That's, yeah, it's
here.
set there. Yeah.
Right. And then the bar just keeps rising,
Mm-hmm.
right? We never stop. We always want to keep climbing and get more, but they have the tools to do it.
Exactly.
Right. And most of us don't, like, I'm not sure if you've ever talked about like your family's blueprint that they imparted or, put on you as a person when it came
Oh
to
yeah,
wealth.
we can talk about that.
My parents, like I have like, the craziest background and story, but it's so interesting when I look at myself.
Mm-hmm.
When you can pull out above yourself and look down and say, I need to, like, these things are the way I currently think and I need to adjust it,
Mm-hmm.
That's when you can really start growing, is when you can self-identify what you need to adjust in your blueprint, right?
I that is 100% true. When you start to realize that some of the stuff that happened, like even in your like childhood, DeMarc and I actually talked about this, like stuff that that happened in your childhood can affect what you've done today, like what you're doing today.
Totally.
And like, I know, like, yes, massive traumatic events can absolutely affect it, but there are small things that just seep into your subconscious that you don't realize, like stuff your parents said to you that wasn't intended to be hurtful, but could be holding you back now. And it's such a crazy thing to think about, and how there are ways to reprogram your mind to forgive yourself or let it go in some way. It's crazy, but
it's funny. My wife grew up, her dad was, turn the lights off, I'm not made of money.
That's my dad. Turn down that heat.
I'm like, I grew up without electricity or running water, so I'm like, lights on, faucets on, like washing the hands all the time. Dude, man. And she's like, quit you wasting all that. I'm like, wasting all that water, I pay for the shit, like put the light on, like I don't want to sit in the dark, but those are those things that
that's a good example. Yeah, exactly, man. I used to hear money doesn't grow on trees. Well, or money. I'm not. Yeah, not right. I'm like, why can't we just plant a new one? Now it turns out, I found out years later, there's something called a money tree. So in your face, Dad. No.
Dip your cup in the river of abundance, man.
Exactly. It's
right
like
there.
Yeah, I know. I know maybe we're getting a little off topic, but this stuff kind of, I think this kind of ties into like rituals and in belief systems. But, if you go into the world every day and you wake up and you believe that money is abundant as the air you breathe, it will always just show up out of nowhere. And like, I know that sounds insane. Like, oh, money's just not going to fall into my lap. Sometimes it literally does.
Right.
And it can come from the strangest spots, but the universe has a weird way of working that stuff out for you.
Right. So. And it's, I know we're a little bit off, like you said, on that one, but that's all subconscious programming, right? We start getting in the reticular activating system. Mm-hmm. Your mind starts.
Yeah, you're always going to see what you're looking for.
You're always going to see what you're looking for.
And that's good. To wrap it up here, right?
Yeah.
I'll leave with this saying: you're always going to find what you're looking for.
That's right. Good or bad.
Good or bad. Exactly. There is there's no distinction between that. Your mind doesn't know good or bad like that. Yep. You're going to always find it. Yep. So I'll leave with that, because that's a really good topic. To talk about, I think, in the future.
So, yeah, for sure.
Cool. All right, guys. All right, man. If you could like and subscribe to the YouTube channel, Traveling Trader Pro, to see our handsome faces. If you are listening on Spotify, follow us so you don't miss an episode. And you can follow me on Instagram at That's Mr. Doherty to you. You can also book a free strategy session with me at travelingtraderpro.com or transformmytrading.com. All right, until next time.